Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I gotta hit a stretch real quick. No, that felt good. Alright, anyways, yeah, that was like, I feel better. I feel like I needed to do that stretch. But anyways, no, overall though, I wanted to talk on arachnophobia modes need to be added into any video game with insects in them. Because there are some games that I done played, and it all started with Fallout 3. I'm gonna get to that in a moment, but there's some video games I played where they make insects way too detailed. And it's like, fam, you have to remember that there are going to be people playing this game for the first time, and then they're going to be seeing stuff like that for the first time. They're not going to be expecting it. Unless they done seen trailers or somebody done told them or they done seen it somewhere and they're into that type of stuff. But yeah, overall though, there are at times where companies add, and there's the people that make like Fallout, because I think they have made Fallout, Skyrim, and then their latest game Starfield. I'm like, bro, is that like all you guys want to do? It's like, let's just think of different environments, but how can we add insects in them environments? And it's like, bro, can y'all come out with like one video game that ain't got insects in it? Cause I mean, dang, it's like Bethesda or something like that, bro. They got insects in just about every. No, let's just look it up real quick. Let's just look up their company real quick. I'm gonna look up Fallout, American Fallout franchise, Bethesda, publishers. Nope. All right, 2024. So let's see, games published. So, oh, they put out Indiana Jones. Yeah, they had insects in that game. They had insects in Starfield. Redfall, I don't remember seeing no insects in there, but I bet if I played that game long enough, they probably would have had some insects. So they haven't published quite a few games, but yeah, it's like Fallout since. I thought Fallout's been coming out long before. Oh, I think it was like they just been publishing it. But regardless, though, I'm like, bro, list of okay, so here's like a longer list. I ain't gonna look through all that, but yeah, it's like their most popular games because I remember getting into my overall history with Fallout. So I remember seeing my uncle play that game. Now, the part that I seen him play was him going through a bunker, and it was the goals, or I think that's what they call them, or some goals, something like that. But anyways, I thought it was like something zombie related. So I was like, so he was telling me about the game, and I'm like, fam, that sounds sick. Oh, that sounds like, but I only seen that one enemy though. I only seen like the zombie like enemies and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I'm thinking it's just this big giant open world zombie game, and that's something that I've been looking for years now. Like I just want to play like a solid open world zombie game. All right. So, but anyways, so I seen that. I seen them playing it, and I'm like, bro, that game looks so sick. I gotta get that game. So Christmas comes around. That's like the first game that I write out. I was like, no, I got to get Fallout 3. So, anyways, I can't remember who it was that I don't even know who got it. I don't know if it was my mom or dad, but anyways, regardless, one of my parents had got me Fallout 3. They got me like the complete edition. It came with everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, dope. This is amazing. I am going to be occupied. All right. So, anyways, of course, the game starts off with their main character's parents giving birth to you, then the mom dies, then you get a little bit older, and then and then you get a little bit older, and then a little bit older, then eventually it gets to your I think you're in high school. It's either like your high school or whatever, but anyways, but you are still in school, but your dad escapes from the bunker, like craziness just starts happening left and right. And what else? But no, so I remember actually prior before you go out into the real world and stuff, there was a mission where they had you kill some rad roaches. Now, I, for some reason, did not trip when it came to the rad roaches. I was like, shot them, went on about my business. I was like, okay, I hadn't, because I'm trying to think, prior before that, the only other game that I can think of where it had like giant insects, and that was because I seen the movie. And I'm trying to think, like, I don't really remember coming across the insects in there, or at least if I did, like, I don't remember it like tripping me out and things. But anyways, I remember they came out with that 2005. Why is my fan like loud and stuff? Dang, just cool me down. You ain't gotta be loud. Okay, that's better. I'm like, I don't know why my fan be doing that. It's like, bro, you ain't even an old fan. Like, I got you maybe a few years back. That is not old, bro. But anyways, But no, overall though, yeah, they came out with that King Kong game in 2005 to promote the movie. And yeah, of course, Skull Island, they gonna have like a bunch of big giant insects, but I don't remember them like that. Not like how Fallout 3, like that game had me scarred. But anyways, but yeah, overall though, I remember the rat roaches not really bothering me and stuff. When it came to going outside the bunker and then all the different crap that they had, freaking bloat flies, fire ants, I'm trying to think of some other stuff. That game was one big giant nightmare, bro. And I'm trying to think, because I think I got that game did I get that? I think I got it for the Xbox. I think I got it for the Xbox, so I think by that time, when did Fallout New Vegas come out? Because Fallout New Vegas, I think that was a 2012 game, right? 2010. So that game came out in 2010. When did I get? I feel like, I mean, I guess. I don't know. My dates are all the way off, but I must have been, no, I was in high school. All right, so I was in high school when that had, so I think I got Fallout 3 that year prior, and yeah, I couldn't even play that game. I was like, that's how bad it was. Like, that's how bad it was. I could not play Fallout 3 to save my life, and I'm like, fam, I just really wish that games like that had an arachnophobia mode, and I'm like, one way they could do that is having it where the game it's like, so you enable the mode and then you just replace it with another enemy, and I'm like, for the one video game that they came out with, and I'm like, fam, I would really like to sit down and play that game, because for some reason, I don't know why, I'm really into Space Sims, and that's a game that keeps popping up, but Starfield, and I just remember playing that game and seeing some of the things in there, and I'm like, bruh, this is Fallout 3 all over again. It's just now in my adult years, and I'm like, I'm not trying to go through that, I'm not trying to deal with that, but I am trying to play a video game and have fun with it. But it just, see, that's the messed up thing about it, where it's like, I gotta like look that up to see if a video game's gonna have any insects in it, and I'm like, bro, that shouldn't even be a thing, but it's like, yeah, you got like a phobia to that type of stuff. And that's the thing that trips me out, is that when people, and I want to talk on that too, is that when you bring that up in video games, because what game was it? I think it was Anthem. It was either Anthem, or I feel like it might have been a different video game. But anyways, regardless, so there's been times before where people have like posted on through just like mainly on Reddit, and even I've done that. I think it might have been for that video game Anthem. But anyways, regardless, so no, overall though, there'll be people out there that'll recommend that, like asking, is there a mod or a mode that can be enabled in this video game to overall replace the enemies with something else? And people get so upset, and I'm like, that's something that's starting to be like a pet peeve of mine. It's like, it's starting to irritate me when people, they recommend something for a video game and people get so upset. And it's like, how does that affect you? How does that overall affect you if a video game got a mode in there that you don't have to turn on? You can turn it on if you want to, but you don't have to turn it on. Then it's funny when you see video games like Lethal Company, Hogwarts Legacy, what's that one game? Grounded. I'm trying to think of another game that has like an arachnophobia mode and stuff. But overall, I wonder if Helldivers has one. Not that and I'm going to talk on that video game in a moment. But anyways, let's just see real quick. I don't think they overall have like no arachnophobia mode and stuff. But anyways, let's just see. Lack of, people are all like, arachnophobia isn't real. You lying, egotistical main character syndrome, self-diagnosed individual. There's like, have you ever been to Australia? No, because I know that they got giant spiders and insects out there. Why would I go to an area that's obviously going to trigger something in my brain? That's the thing. And it's like, people get so upset. It's stuff like that. It's comments like that where it's like, how does that affect you if they add an arachnophobia mode to Helldivers, Fallout, Starfield, or any other video game out there? But the funny thing is like, then you end up seeing that with somebody that they end up creating a mod for that video game that replaces the enemies. And I wonder, I don't know if Helldivers, if they have that. But anyways, Helldivers 2 Arachnophobia. Let's just put that back. Mod. They don't think they have like no mod and stuff. I imagine they probably don't, because I feel like but it's like that's, you know what though, that's the one thing, because I know people probably would ask that question, like, is there's not, sadly, but that's the thing, you don't have to go up against the insect enemies in the game. They have the robot enemies, and then they just added the zombie enemies, and I'm trying to think, I don't even think the zombie enemies, they don't have like no insect like enemies and stuff, although I think they do kind of have like an alien, but it looks like a life, not life, but like it looks like the alien, like that thing from War of the Worlds, that Tom Cruise movie. Well, I think it was another movie before, but I always watch the Tom Cruise one. But it kind of looks like that, but it has like alien skin. So it's I guess if that triggers you, I would recommend looking into it first. But if you don't want to look at it, then you don't even have to go up against the zombie enemies. You could strictly just go up against the robot enemies and stuff. But I think that's like for the higher tier zombie enemies. So like if you do play it on the easiest difficulty, so you don't have to see nothing creepy, I guess, with the zombies. But with the like the termites or something like that, it's like that's the like the yellow side. So they got like the red side, which is the robots, the yellow, like it's like a Cheeto like type. No, it's like maybe not a cheese puff. Cheeto? No, not a Cheeto either. But it's like yellow. But overall, like that's where they like the insect like enemies be hanging out at and stuff. And then they got the zombie enemies, and I don't think they have like no insect like creature enemies and stuff with the zombies and thing. I think they just zombies and stuff. But overall though, it's like that's something that people need to understand, that it's like it's not to bother you. Like if I have like an arachnophobia, or if I have a phobia towards all, and I do have a phobia towards all insects. I don't like insects whatsoever. And people are like, no, I'm not hearing absolutely nothing you have to say. People be wanting to argue with you about that type of stuff. And it's like, fam, it's an issue. Like that, my thing is this, they're not going to have a whole name for something if it doesn't exist or if it's not real. Obviously it is real if there's a whole name that is, that people are calling it. So that's why I'm like, it just trips me out where you can recommend that for a video game, and it's like people, they get so upset, and it's like, how does that bother you? Because that's the thing about it, where it's like with all the games that I did list stuff that has like an arachnophobia mode or mods and stuff, you don't have to play it with that stuff. Like for an example, Hogwarts Legacy, they added a arachnophobia mode to their game after some time, and it was like nobody did even, people talked on it, but it wasn't like people were like bothered or upset by it. And there probably was, it's just, they just didn't get all popular for their opinion and stuff. But it's like, that's something that I just want to ask people. It's like, how does that bother you? And even with Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the latest Call of Duty, they have like an arachnophobia mode in there because they got some weird looking like spider like enemies and stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like, it obviously bothers people if they're adding it into video games or if people are recommending it. And that's something where I was like, I had to ask ChatGPT to see all the different insect like enemies they got in Starfield, and I'm like, fam, I might not even fool with that game now with all the different insect enemies that they have. And I'm like, what is the reason? And it's stuff like that where I'm like, bruh, you guys need to honestly be prepared to come out with modes. And I know people will probably be all like, oh, what would you want it to be replaced by? Replace it with enemies that can shoot at me, because they did have enemies like that in Starfield. So I'm like, if there's a mode where it just switches out those enemies, like the files or whatever, and if it's like something where you have to like update the game, or even that could be a thing too, where it's like how like there was like times before where games would come out with like not free deal. Well, honestly, it needs to be free. If I went out and bought your guys' game, it needs to be free. But anyways, no, but they should come out with something where it's like a file that you can download, but it's in the form of a DLC, and you download it, and then it adds that option of adding an arachnophobia mode, in case if you can't update the game to add an arachnophobia mode, then it should just be somewhere it's like it switches out the files, and then it just adds enemies that shoot at you and stuff, or some other form of enemies, but just take out the insect like enemies and stuff, because it's like everybody that plays your guys' game, they're not trying to see that. You can look up, the funny thing is, you can look up any video game with insects in it, and I guarantee and I promise you, if you look up Fallout, let's just put it to the test. Let's just overall put it to the test. Fallout 3 arachnophobia mod. there's a mod for it. There's like, I'm Arachnophobic, Fallout 3, and that's on Steam. Let's see, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas. Yep, there's one for Fallout New Vegas. What about 4? Let's see. Fallout 4, game finally out. Hi, post about my extreme main. Wait, do they have the Arachnophobia? But any mods? Oh, so they don't. It's not. I thought they added it to Fallout 4. I was like, oh wow. But anyways, yeah, people talked about it in Fallout 4. What about Fallout 76? Hold on for a second. Let me look that up. Anti-phobia. Yep, there's a mod for that too. So it's like, my thing is that, oh, such as balloons. Oh, I might have to look into this. But it's like, that's something that they should consider. Yeah, it's just that's funny. It's just a bunch of different balloons and stuff. Yeah, I might have to download that mod and see what it's all about. But anyways, but it's like, yeah, it's games that I would like to play, but it's like, I can't play these games if they got these weird insects in it, because I'm telling you right now, like, I remember when I played Fallout 3 for the first time, and I had to play, yeah, overall, like, trying to figure this game out, but then at the same time trying to avoid these insects. That's difficult. That's difficult when they're literally scattered all over throughout the map and stuff. So I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, hire these developers or these modders where they add that or they create that stuff and have it where they work on the video game. I'm saying, it's like, for you, I feel like it's a win-win situation, because you get more buyers, and then on top of that, it's like, then the people that make that stuff, the mods or the modes or whatever, they get paid too. So I'm just saying, I just think that that's something that they should consider, you know, adding Arachnophobia mode to any video game that got insects in it, because I'm telling you right now, there's some video games to me where it's like, it's unplayable, and I'm like, nah, I can't even, like, and it's crazy, because like, I remember with Helldivers 2, that was something that I was worried about. I was like, fam, I know when I play this game, I am going to have like a massive anxiety attack, because I just remember the last time I played a video game and it had insects in it. It was this video game, I think it was this game called Outriders. Hold on for a second, let me just make sure I'm getting that right. Outriders game. Do they even still do anything to that game? I feel like I haven't seen or heard nothing with that game, because there was all like, that game, I just feel like it was here and now all of a sudden it's gone, and I'm like, I don't even think they do anything still to that game. But anyways, but yeah, I just remember they had like some like spider enemies in there and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I remember that game. Had my nerves shot. Anthem had my nerves shot. I couldn't even get past the first mission in Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 3, I think the furthest I ever went into that game was going to, I think it was a woman's RV or trailer or mobile home or something, whatever the situation is. But that was the furthest I ever made it into that game. What else? Yeah, and but no, with Helldivers, I just remember playing that, and I was like, I already know it's gonna be bad with this game. Surprisingly, play that game, I don't have no issues with it, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, that's surprising. I'm like, because if this would have been, definitely if it had been like some time ago when I was in school and I played that game when it came out, yeah, I'm like, nah, bruh, can't play this. And so anyways, but yeah, man, I just think that they need to add that to certain games, because I'm like, yeah, even with Helldivers 2, I'm like, even that's a game that I don't really have like an arachnophobia issue. Still though, it's like, if it could get more people to buy the game, but like I said, you can avoid that whole area and stuff. But with other games, it's like, you know, you can't really avoid enemies. If you had to, like Hogwarts Legacy for an example, and they tell you gotta go to like the wooden area and things to like go through and do missions, because I think that's like where I last left off on the game. They had it where I had to go to the woods where them spiders be chilling at and stuff, and I'm like, I ain't trying to come across that stuff. So that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just, it's one of those things where I'm like, people need to consider that when they're making a video game, if they got insects in it. It's like, have it where it can be like friendlier to those that have an issue with that type of stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.